Gamer's Garage.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Losers Bracket. We have a lot to talk about today, and we have also a special guest. Kelly, if you want to introduce him.
I think he should introduce himself instead of me.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on here. My name is Jacob Bandit, and I'm on the VVV Source team. I play Counter-Strike Source, and I've been playing Counter-Strike Source for about 5 years now. I've been to multiple LANs and have been in competitive leagues, in the CEVO M leagues, also the Cal I leagues, and I'm currently playing in CEVO M and ESEA IM.
Oh, dang.
There you go. What do we got on the news?
Well,
is it so freaking exciting? You got something exciting?
You know how everyone thought the Olympics would be a lot safer in Canada, right?
Yes.
Why?
Xbox Live gamer was arrested for plotting a school shooting. February 4th is when the incident actually happened. They took action February 14th.
Oh.
That's a happy Valentine's Day.
It sure is.
Valentine's Day, Mom and Dad. I'm going to jail.
Canadians are snitches, let's just say that, but with a good reason. A kid from Texas was talking on an Xbox Live party about how he's going to shoot up his school, and he started naming certain targets, which got one of the players he was talking to really, really scared, I guess. So a kid from British Columbia called up either the Mounties from Canada, contacted the Microsoft
Law enforcement.
Yes, correct. It's just weird.
Kelly would know about Microsoft.
Kelly, you want to talk about maybe something involved with law enforcement from Microsoft?
Wait.
I'm sorry. I just can't get this idea out of my head about these fucking Mounties running up with Microsoft law enforcement.
Look, you got the Mounties, and then you got the fucking kids wearing Microsoft shirts.
So you're gonna shoot up your school. We're here to fucking arrest you. Let's go.
Well, it turns out this kid was failing in his senior year, so this is pretty much why he was planning on shooting up the school. So I guess kids stay in school and fucking do your fucking work.
Nobody cares if you're fucking failing. Nobody cares about your miserable life. And if you do start talking about how you're going to shoot people up, I do hope people report you. And I hope you get arrested, drug out of your school, because you've already flunked out your senior year, loser. Maybe you shouldn't be on Xbox Live. Maybe you should be in your fucking books. And where the fuck are your parents now that I think about it, huh?
Yeah.
Why are they letting you sit on Xbox Live and rot away? That's just my perspective, of course.
This is true.
This is what's fucking even worse, though, about this entire topic. He was planning on getting weapons from a friend in the Marine Corps. So now I would like to know, where the fuck is this Marine Corps sergeant, whatever, leader, whatever you want to call it, but how is he sneaking guns out or planning on sneaking guns out? That's just fucking horrible. And
one, he probably has no friends.
He's just making up shit now.
That's what happens when you let kids plan. That's like saying, oh, I'm going to put up a website and millions of people are going to come to it. No, they're not. Nobody cares. Just like no Marine friend's going to give you guns. Kill yourself.
What friend? G.I. Joe doesn't count.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
All right. So instead of doing that, do we got any other news? We got any GB tournaments coming up? You guys are GB All-Stars here.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, Val.
I wouldn't talk fucking Chainsaw Massacre.
Look, I am trolling on GB. Oh, wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually banned from the forums for
for trolling.
You advertise VVV Gaming again?
I did it like 2 months ago.
That'll teach you. You don't advertise on GB.
Band lift is never, so I'm done.
That's right. You don't want to do that. That's bad.
Yeah. But we have a lot of Modern Warfare 2 tournaments coming out, a 4v4 MLG variant for the PS3, and then there's also upcoming 2v2 tournaments in Call of Duty 4, which is the original one, Modern Warfare 2, Gears of War 2, and Halo 3. Those are all 2v2.
Speaking of Halo, is that all the tournaments? Because isn't Halo Reach
there's
coming
also
out?
singles tournaments coming out too. But, no one really cares about that. But Madden NFL 10 Super Bowl Bash is what they're calling it. is going to be coming out as well. So all of them are cash prizes, so just sign up.
All right, and what about Halo Reach?
What about Halo Reach? I mean, it looks like they're kind of reaching for a title, aren't they?
No, I disagree there. I think that this game is going to be incredible. I don't know. If you haven't seen the vid documentary that they just put out on this game, it looks phenomenal. They're really updating the Halo universe. They're making a more character-driven story. They're adding a couple of really interesting changes to the engine as well that I think some Halo fanatics are going to probably feel a little bit strongly about, either for or against things like sprinting, new guns, things that you might see in more of a Call of Duty type universe.
It's almost not really new guns. It seems like they're adapting the Halo Combat Evolved guns into new modernized and Halo style guns. The pistol, it looks badass. I mean, I missed the pistol from Halo 1. It was great.
Well, who doesn't?
And I think that's why they're doing it, though. I mean, I think they really are in many ways reaching back, no pun intended, really. And I mean, I think that's the whole point of this, right, is for them to...
Do a reach around?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a mix of Halo Combat Evolved, really, really fucking good in graphics and everything, mixed in with a little bit of Modern Warfare, just because of the sprinting and the aim down sight and stuff like that.
Well, we can agree Halo needs an upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, the engines, I mean, it could use an overhaul. So I think in the vid doc they demonstrated that I think currently, like when they're shooting at a wall, they're allowed to have like up to 100 separate items that we might be able to see, like sparks or wood chips or stuff.
It said in the old ones there was 100. The new one has over 1,000.
Oh yeah, over 1,000.
That's what I'm saying. The new one, the old one is that, and the new one is going to be over 1,000. So I mean, I think that's going to all speak well for Halo Reach, to be honest.
If you do not have Halo 3 ODST, I would recommend picking it up because that is where you get the beta for this Halo Reach. And the beta starts May of 2010, and the game actually releases in the fall of 2010.
It was an awful game. Everyone was like, well, the campaign's going to be amazing. Oh, really? It was 4 hours, if that, on Legendary. And to me, that was a waste of time. It was honestly just a game for people to buy if they didn't even have Halo 3, the original, because it came with all the maps, like for multiplayer, and it came with a campaign, I guess, that was, not decent. It wasn't even good, to be honest. But I think if they fuck up again on this one, because a lot of people were disappointed with the campaign, I don't think they stand a chance of continuing with bans or anything like that. It's just going to be all MLG bound kids, buying the game to continue playing MLG playstyles, because I'm sure they're going to, cock block every MLG player again, like they did with ODST. And I don't know if any of you guys know that they made the MLG playlist only available if you had ODST. Like, it was only available for quite some time. And then just finally about 2 weeks ago, they put out a map pack for, the people that refused to buy ODST like myself, because I'm not wasting $63 on a fucking 4-hour game just to play 3 new maps. Fuck that. So they finally came out with the map pack, but basically what Bungie and MLG did was cock block every fucking player and made them go get ODST because their sales were god awful. I swear, if Reach does it, I'm gonna fucking stab someone.
So in other words, this is Bungie's new Crackdown. That's what you're telling me.
Oh
yes.
No.
Except less fun.
Basically.
Actually, ODST is the new Crackdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the only reason to get is to get a beta key. That's just like Crackdown.
Yep. Again.
Well, that, and if you don't want to purchase, maps and download them, whatever.
Let's revisit the old voting guide that we had for the World Cyber Games.
Old voting guide.
And why don't we start out with the first-person shooter?
Okay.
Because Bandit's here to talk about Pro Mod, and I know that their list of eligible games that they had us vote on was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Counter-Strike, Gears of War 2, Halo 3 ODST, and Left 4 Dead 2. Those were the 5 choices that World Cyber Games gave us for the 2010 season. Mm-hmm. And before we get into this, I'd like Bandit to explain to everyone, and assume we know nothing, what exactly is the Counter-Strike Pro Mod?
Pro Mod is a version of Counter-Strike. Basically, same type of gameplay, both 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source. It's kind of a put together mix between the two. Now, if you don't know what Counter-Strike is, it's a first-person shooter. It's a money-based system, buy guns, all this, teamwork 5v5. Most rules rounds up to 16 going through, and you're basically terrorists shooting counter-terrorists. Now, going off that, CS Pro Mod is basically an upgraded visually game matching Counter-Strike Source. So now you're talking about a game that's Counter-Strike Source, 5 years old already. You can't really say it's updated, but it is trying to move the community that is playing 1.6, which is the old version of the game, which is about 11, 12 years old, 10 years old, around there, to move up, get them to move up, because a lot of these players didn't move up to the Counter-Strike Source because of a lot of glitches, bugs, problems that players in the pro community did not want to deal with. So they basically just said, hey, screw you. We're staying with 1.6. Money's at 1.6 from tournaments. We're going to keep playing this. So they stayed at 1.6. Now, the problem with that is you have all these people playing 1.6. You got all these people playing Source. You're mixing the community. No one knows which one where the money's at. The sponsors don't know where to go, vice versa. So it's basically an upgraded visually game with the basic gameplay of 1.6. There are some differences in Source and 1.6, so they're trying to put it together so that people from Source and 1.6 will play the same game.
Well, from the video I saw, it was a little bit better graphically. Like you can see a lot of different on the heads-up display or the HUD. There's a lot more, elaborated into it.
Yeah, going in that aspect, yeah, you're right. There are actually like different things that they've done, completely different than Source, which is actually a lot of great things, and I'll probably get into it. A lot of some bad things also. Now, like with Source, we played Source before. You basically got the basic, pretty dull colors, pretty boring heads-up display. And with CS Pro Mod, they've actually changed, like, when you hit the tab button for scores and everything, they made it pretty cool. They've got a lot of added features. You can actually see your players' money that's on your team, see what their money is before the round. CS Source, basically, everybody types their money, so you're kind of you got an advantage there. I would say it kind of helps the noobs because in a good team you just have your money. Some bad teams just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But something like that definitely helps out.
And I also have a cool feature which will help out for, I think, live streaming and stuff like that, is the amount of players still left on both teams, so they can tell when it's like a 1v2, a 2v2, 4v4, whatever, like how many players are still left playing at that moment.
Right. They added a feature on the bottom of your screen. Usually where the time is, they actually have like a little indentations of people, and basically 5 on each side, 5 blue, 5 red. How many people are alive, they actually have them lit up. So if you have 5 teammates alive, your 5 on your side of that screen are lit up. So yes, it is very friendly for TV viewers. So they're trying to add that, and that's another thing they're doing is they're making the Source TV a lot better. The feature where you can view teams playing from a delayed aspect.
Well, you couldn't do it live because then people would cheat easily.
Exactly.
Is it too little, too late? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that everybody's thinking about that, and I've been thinking about it. And honestly, I'm like 60-40. I think it may be a little too late. I think there's hope. The reason I think it's a little too late is, I mean, if you look, it's 5 years past the date when the last Counter-Strike was released. 6 years, sorry. 6 years since the last, visual Counter-Strike. If people haven't moved over to the new game, which my team, a lot of players I play with, we move on to the better-looking game, basically pretty close to the same gameplay and all that. Now, the problem you got all these people still on 1.6, and those people that haven't switched, are they really going to switch to another game? You're betting on something that may never happen.
I rarely get to ask tough questions of Counter-Strike players. I want to ask you a few tough questions if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
My first one that I want to ask is, who the fuck died and left these 1.6 players like anybody gives a shit what they think? Like, it's the 21st century and they're playing a game 10 years old. Why? Because it was easy for a few companies to market to them. I mean, but today, no offense to the 1.6 community, but you all like old bastards. I mean, like, who the hell cares? I mean, Alex Garfield's no spring chicken who did the CS Pro mods. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the story here. I mean, why are they still playing 1.6, I guess is the question. Are they just stubborn? Is it, because don't get me wrong, the World Cyber Games, I think, has 1.6. That's the game it plays, isn't it? I think. They had about 36,000, which was the prize for 2009. But, I mean, Halo was 100,000. So, I mean, they're like, almost about a little more than a third of what Halo got for its national champions. And that doesn't count the whole MLG Pro season. So when it comes down to money, I'm just not seeing it. And it seems like in some ways they've shadowed the Source community as sort of defining themselves as the better game in North America. But it's my understanding that Europe plays Source. That seems to be their big game. Talk to us. Tell us about global Counter-Strike and who the heck these 1.6 players are.
That's what we need to talk about is, globally. Because if you look at Counter-Strike Source, you look at Europe, it's huge. It is absolutely huge. I mean, you're looking at some of these matches that they have over there in these leagues, and they have thousands of people watching these things. And it is really awesome to see. Now, I mean, I wish I could be that way here. And I can't pinpoint my finger exactly why it hasn't happened, but I think there's a lot more vocals in the 1.6 community here that just completely complain and whine a lot. And I'm not trying to hate too much, but at the same time, I never played 1.6 really competitively. I have played it. I know how the game works, all that. I know, I've been playing Counter-Strike Source where in the beginning they used to have, you'd buy weapons, you buy ammo. They completely removed that option in Source when they updated the dynamic pricing back in the day, which kind of, you lose a lot of gameplay issues on that. You can't buy ammo. Basically, all the guns come fully loaded and all that. That's just a small point of it. There are flaws in Counter-Strike Source, no question. But are they too big, too great, where the community can't get over it? I believe that's not true, because you look at all the players, all the good players that are playing Source right now. So for a fact that since all these good players moved up and playing it, they can do it. It's completely playable. Now, basically, why 1.6 players move up? I don't know. Back in the day, about 4 years ago, I would say, it's logically saying, well, my computer isn't good enough to play Source. Because, Source took a lot of CPU. You'd have to have over a Pentium 4 easily to play that game well. And, Core 2 Duos came out. You've got, AMD, the new Athlon 2s, all that stuff. That you have no problem playing it. So if you haven't upgraded your computer in 4 years, I'm sorry, fuck you. Go out, spend $400 to get a new computer. But I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's funny talking about it because it's just 5 years gone, and there's still people complaining.
Why do we play 1.6 in North America? What's our top 1.6 team? EG, right? Is that right? Do I have that right?
I think so. I haven't really followed 1.6, to be honest with you, for a while.
But, if you look at it, everybody else in the world, Fnatic, SK Gaming, Mouse Sports, they're all better than we are.
Right.
So it seems to me like it could only benefit North American players to get behind one game. I think EG's team as a total won like 10,000 or something like that last year. Yeah. I don't know, that's what it was in July or something, right?
Yeah.
And you look at Fnatic and they're like over 100,000, right? So, that's, we got a problem here. And it seems to me like, and I guess that brings up a second question. Can Source still grow? If so, how? Or is it stuck with everybody just waiting for a better game? What do you think is the where it's at now, and what do you think ProMod's going to do as far as revitalize any interest? Can it draw in new players or no?
I definitely think it can draw new players, and that's the thing that we got to think about too. Is you look at all these players and 1.6 players and even Source players. You look at we want this, we want that. Well, what about all these new players that are coming in? It's not everybody's 20, 25. If you played 1.6 back in the day, you're easily 20, 25, even older. You know what I mean? So you look at the new players coming in, you've got plenty of new audience to start a game to keep it going or whatever. Source, can it keep growing? I truly think it can, and I think there is hope there too, because I think it's going in the right direction. ESEA League has done a fantastic job of bringing in community. Since Cal died, which is, I don't know, that has to be about a year and a half ago now. They had the, basic pretty giant community going on there. They had the forums and all that stuff, people talking. Not saying that the forums are great, because a lot of people just shit talked all day, but it was free to play. A lot of people played it, and it meant something to go Cal. I truly believe it. Adding on to that, you've got ESEA, where they basically have a community and you pay to play. Now that lowers the community a little bit, because not everybody's going to pay 6 months, every $6 a month to play a computer game. But what happens is the community is great, and you've got a lot of people, a lot of good players playing this that have really good skills. So you've got more people wanting to play it, and it's legit. You don't have a lot of this bullshit. In a lot of leagues, I truly believe there's a lot of bullshit going on. You get people moved up because they know somebody else. So you've got a good team that gets moved up, all this and that. ESEA doesn't do that. ESEA is pretty much strict by the book. You start in open and you move up. Unless you're like EG and like, hey, they weren't playing and hey, EG comes to the ESEA, you want to play? They're not going to put them in open, of course. But now going into CS Pro Mod, I truly, like I said, 40%, I think it can succeed. It all depends now. Source community is not the problem we have to worry about. Source community likes playing new games. That's the reason they're playing Source. They move on to a new game. It's a better game, better looking. They're going to move over. If the game is good enough and it's going, they will move over. 1.6 players is the problem. Are they going to be happy or, with what's going on? I've read a lot of the forums and I'm looking at what a lot of people are saying. I've looked at both sides. Like I said, Source players, they got some problems with it. It's too 1.6E. They can get over it. 1.6 players, a lot of them are like, well, this and that. They go, well, it looks too much like Source. Well, I'm like, no shit. It's got the Source engine. It's got the Source, everything's Source on it. So you're not going to get your, everything you want. Now, can they make it where the gameplay, this is the big issue of guns and movement and jumping, all the same type of movements. Do the guns spray the same? Do the nades throw the same? Do the nades do the same amount of damage? How does the bomb defuse? All this stuff. So if they can match the 1.6 on that aspect, I think that it will succeed. But I just don't think they need to match the visuals. Because if you start matching visuals, you're going to get a lot of people upset, especially from the Source community, from going to an uglier game.
Where do you get good Counter-Strike news? I mean, Godfrag, after they got bought out by MLG, stuff on there seems really old to me, but I might be wrong. Where do you get your news for Counter-Strike?
There really is not a great place to just get community news, like, hey, what's going on with this at all, really. I mean, if you want to find news out, you've got to kind of look around. You got to go to different sites. I mean, I visit ESDA every day. You've got to go to CEVO. Eco League's back up again. They were down for a couple of days. You go there, but it's all independent. Everything's independent. They're not all collaborating. Besides maybe doing the map rotations sometimes the same for certain leagues. That's about all you get. So, I'm just as lost as you are in that aspect. I don't really know a certain place where you can go and get everything you need.
I was just clicking on Godfrag to humor myself, and I clicked on the Counter-Strike, and then I thought I'd take a look and see world rankings and nation rankings. I'm looking at the last update. Their nation ranking was last update July 28th, 2006.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm not like their world ranking was Sunday, January 11, 2009. At some level, I wonder if MLG bought them just to gut them and make sure that they failed, because it certainly isn't giving any news here. Let's talk about the World Cyber Games. We're going to first open by talking about the first-person shooters. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Counter-Strike 1.6, Gears of War 2, Halo 3, ODST, Left 4 Dead 2. I'm going to start off by saying it's my opinion based on what they were doing, the holidays, and then now the Crossfire event coming up, that they really were hoping for Modern Warfare 2 and ODST to be the two games, because they certainly run a...
That's so dumb. Okay, I mean, you can hope all you want, but... eventually, you're going to have to make a smart decision for business, for long-term goals. Look, Counter-Strike has been their game forever for first-person shooter. I don't see them changing that in actual competitions. Let's say they pick up Halo 3 ODST. The multiplayer for ODST is completely just Halo 3. So the only way they'll be able to do that as their first-person shooter game would make it free-for-all. And who wants to watch just, like...
We're not. You know what? My fear is they're going to take Modern Warfare 2 just because they can.
That'd be dumb.
Yeah, but that hasn't stopped people from doing dumb things before. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is a terrible game.
It's so bad.
I mean, this is one of those where I still to this day don't understand why.
Why was it made?
Anybody considers a legitimate competitive title. It's like, okay, so we all agree that if we were going to pick two games, we'd pick Counter-Strike and Gears of War 2.
Those are my choices. Gears of War 2.
All right, so World Cyber Games, if you're listening to this is VV's recommendation to you. Don't mess it up. Don't take Modern Warfare 2. Don't take Halo 3 ODST. Just don't do it.
Yeah. So
Fighting games, we recommended Tekken 6 and Virtual Fighter 5. I think Tekken 6 is there, but judging by Evolution... I'm thinking Street Fighter 4 might be
Super Street Fighter 4.
AKA
all the way.
Street Fighter 4 with 3 characters added.
And 5 new levels. Woo-hoo.
Whatever. Downloadable content.
That would drop Virtual Fighter 4, but they should pick up Tekken 6.
Yeah, Tekken 6 is that's been the greatest fighting game I've ever played since, Tekken Tag, PS2, if anyone remembers that.
Tekken your mom.
Wow.
Of course everyone remembers that, you weirdo.
Hey, look.
Racing, we have Burnout Paradise, Dirt 2, Forza 3, Gran Turismo 5, GT5 comes out later in the year, NFS Shift, and Trackmania Nations Forever.
To be honest, they can pick whatever. I mean, a racing game's a racing game.
Yeah, but I mean, like Trackmania, for example, that was ruled by the Scandinavians. I think it was a Swede, and then a Norwegian who won it last year.
You should change it then.
Well, if you're going to bring it here, I think Forza 3 for sure. I mean, maybe...
Well, yeah, because Gran Turismo doesn't come out until November.
Gran Turismos have never made a good game, in my opinion.
I just don't see them using a PlayStation title. I see Forza being the way to go.
And Need for Speed Shift might be a good title to keep an eye out for. I mean, Need for Speed's always made good racing games, in my opinion. I've always had fun playing them, let's just say that.
All right,
I'd love to see Forza 3, to be honest, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go Forza 3 Trackmania Nations Forever, but we'll see.
Now, real-time strategy is where a lot of people is probably the big debate, I would say.
Well, I think there's no way StarCraft 2 is going to come out in time for...
No.
No.
Well, No, it won't.
It won't, because it's not going to come out before like March, April, and that's when they normally announce the games that they're going to be playing. So let's see, we've got what? Command & Conquer: Red Alert 3, StarCraft 2, StarCraft Brood War.
They're obviously gonna take StarCraft Brood War, and then what are they? Warcraft.
Warcraft 3, that they did that last year. It was very successful. They could probably do it again. The only other choice they have is Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 2.
And I have nothing to say about it because I have no idea.
And Command & Conquer, I don't know if they're going to do Red Alert 3 because isn't Command & Conquer 4 coming out this year?
Yeah, it is coming out soon. I think it's going to be StarCraft Warcraft again.
StarCraft Warcraft seems the most logical answer for them.
And both those games are going to be dominated by the Asians. StarCraft is going to be dominated by the South Koreans, and Warcraft.
What are you talking about? I have full faith in Jeff. God, you guys, you're so mean.
All right, looking at the sports games, count FIFA all the time because that's always there.
The other soccer game they had PES is a POS.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
it's a terrible game. Have you played it?
Do you think they're going to pick Carom 3D again?
No, God, no. Why not just pick play Pocket Pool? Jesus.
Personal experience with that game. Last Nationals, I walked by, I think Phoenix was playing, some other Simpsons nerdy character was playing, and I literally did not know, and WCG is gonna kill me, but I did not know that was a title.
I thought they were playing Yahoo Pool, but no. The kids in
I thought they were playing an arcade game.
The game is just, honestly, where's the skill in that?
I don't know. Grab a real life.
They announced it. I think we should probably get somebody to friggin' play it, because how hard can it be, really?
Look, I'll qualify it in a day.
All right, here's the next big question.
Ooh.
RPG. Ion, Atlantica Online, Redstone, and World of Warcraft.
We all know Redstone's not going anywhere.
Let's face it. The two that are obvious are Ion and World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But
I don't think there's any other choice on that list. But you know what the real question is going to be? Do they have the expertise to create the rules for Ion?
No.
They're going to talk.
I don't think anyone has it yet.
WoW is an easy one because MLG runs it, so they can always copy something similar there.
I don't think they would want to copy it. They hate MLG.
They might just run Redstone again.
If they just run Redstone just because they can't be creative and think of own rules, they are selling out on a terrible fucking title.
I don't know. Redstone, I don't see that being profitable, honestly. There were 3 teams in the entire world last year that qualified?
The entire fucking world.
Hey, did you guys know
it was
on that
Korea, Japan, and that fake team that Paul Brewer had thrown together with.
You mean the team that didn't qualify for anything?
But they still. Hey, they took a medal. They took a medal.
Oh, look. Okay, any retard can get a medal if there's only 3 teams.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm trying to spin this positively for the United States here.
How positive?
And then we got casual. We got Audio Surf, Bejeweled, DJ Hero, Guitar Hero 5, Tetris, and the Beatles Rock Band.
Out of all these titles, this is just my personal opinion. I think that DJ Hero and Guitar Hero 5 are definitely the 2 best choices here. Something like, Tetris could possibly bring in casual play. How the hell are people going to qualify for that?
Empire Arcadia will love that. They have world records in that shit, right?
Okay, Beatles Rock Band, much too easy. There's no way that one instrument could hold an entire tournament on it. Not to mention, I think people would get a little bit bored of hearing the same band throughout the entire qualifying process and the competition portion at the LAN event. But DJ Hero, that'd be a great title. We talked about this in former podcasts about how it'd be a great title to get the whole crowd up and going. Guitar Hero 5, Guitar Hero's been a staple for the past 2 years of WCG.
I like Guitar Hero 5 too.
It's fucking fun to watch.
I got my hand on it the other day. Well, I'm comparing it to, Guitar Hero 4, which I didn't like at all. I'm sorry, people out there. I didn't like it at all.
No, I agree.
And then I finally got Guitar Hero 5, and I fucking couldn't put it down. I'm just the mixes, or not the mixes, but the songs, the playlist, they're just so well balanced, and I think it'd be really good, but my first opinion is DJ Hero without a fucking doubt.
WCG should really pick up DJ Hero this year. That would be a complete change of pace. It would really show support to a new IP that's, in my opinion, it deserves to grow. It's a good choice.
The only problem is I don't see happening is having 2 rhythm games.
I think that might be one challenge, and here's another challenge. Is either Tetris or Bejeweled on the mobile platform, and are those there because they could be one of the mobile games?
That's
it's
very
possible.
true.
It's possible.
Win again.
That's why it's version 2 being decided, I guarantee you, too. Because they can put...
So is that what they're saying? So is it? Because they had a couple mobile games last year. So,
yeah.
You know, with the iPhone app, is there probably iPhone apps and other cell phone apps for Tetris and Bejeweled? And if so, is that the platform that they're going to play on?
You know, we could possibly see either Bejeweled or Tetris, and then either DJ Hero or Guitar Hero. Those could be the titles they choose.
So.
I'm going to throw it out there. It's probably going to be Tetris and DJ Hero, because Bejeweled is bad.
Well, I don't know. They may not pick DJ Hero just because Guitar Hero is more popular.
Yeah, but DJ Hero is so much more involved. Like,
you know, just because it's involved doesn't mean that they're going to choose it. There's a huge,
obviously Redstone.
There's a huge following for Guitar Hero. More people have it. They could just go with the flow and choose Guitar Hero just to make the people that have already played in qualifiers in the past happy. There aren't as many people out there that have DJ Hero right now, so technically there wouldn't be as many people out there to qualify.
Yeah, I will say that. But I do want to go back and say they could have put 2 animals in for Redstone and we would have medaled. I just wanted to say that. We could have had the first animals.
Oh, God.
I just wanted to say it. Sorry.
Don't pick on anyway.
They see me trolling. They'll
be they're already lurking. They'll be lurking, and as soon as they get this, you'll have
all day long. I don't care.
The 2010 Redstone Revolution you started.
Oh my God! What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Back here, Scoots and fucking Tubby, whatever his name is gonna come around the corner there, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're Redstone pros. Don't diss our metal. I'm a 2-time World Cyber Games qualifier." Yeah, you are.
At that point, I will turn and do my epic laugh and walk away.
Let me tell you all a little story. There are 2 things. There's a pattern I've noticed, and this pattern is starting to piss me off. So settle in for a minute so I can get this off my chest.
Settle in.
What I don't fucking understand is why is it so hard to understand that you are not that important? Lord Jareth, will you sponsor my team? Lord Jareth, will you pay? No! There's nothing in it for us. If you're going to get sponsored, we need a national stage like Major League Gaming, like the World Cyber Games. No. If you go to a shitty fucking LAN in backwoods Mississippi where you've got 30 teams that show up for a college event, we're not going to fucking sponsor your team. Wow, that just sounded like the United Kingdom. Anyway, the point is that I'm trying to get at here is we're not going to fucking sponsor your team. BV Gaming has already established itself as the most successful and the best console esports community in the world. So we don't want to take a step backwards and sponsor players to an event that is not on a major stage. Let me explain to you why. Many events are around Pennsylvania, Arizona, many places. And you know what? Some of them are not legitimate. Sometimes it's 4 frat boys who are getting you Halo players to cough up money, and while you're playing the game, they've run out the back door with your entry fee. We don't want to be involved in anything like that. So please, don't ask. 2, don't tell me that by sponsoring you, you will bring VVV website traffic. Nobody knew who the fuck you were before you came here, and you're certainly not going to bring your 10 friends who probably have already heard about VVV Gaming, or even worse, don't care or don't like us. So just stop. Finally, this is for Major League Gaming. You need to stop calling your bracket professional. You need to change it to championship, because none of your players are professional since you signed Carbon, Final Boss, and Straight Rippin'.
Agreed.
That was the only thing you had that was fucking professional. There is no professional gaming. Stop calling yourself a pro. Stop saying that you're a pro. You're shit. There are 2 problems we have. 1, nobody's figured out how to connect sponsors to gamers. Nobody's got that magic bullet for esports yet. Therefore, don't call your brackets professional, because they're not professional. You only allow the kids who can afford to go to LAN, place well at your first event, have a sustained advantage for your next 3. That's all you got. That's far from professional. Call it championship bracket. Say that the people who place here, I don't know, they're MLG Uber kids, but let's not call it professional. So don't tell me you're a pro gamer. Don't tell me that you've done all this shit. Nobody cares. So if you hear this podcast and you're thinking about getting sponsored by VVV Gaming, nobody cares. You're not that important. You want to get sponsored by VV Gaming? I'm going to tell you how to do it. 1, have an established LAN record. 2, be involved with our community and promote VV gaming on other sites. So just to cover this, 1, you're not that important. 2, Major League Gaming, please stop calling it a professional bracket. It is not professional. 3, if you want to get sponsored, think about adding value, and please be marketable. By the way, this is another shout out to Rapture for playing Pokemon. I hear the Pokemon rules are out there.
Pokemon.
And what I want to be sure of is that if we do, you know what? Wouldn't it be odd if Rapture actually did qualify and Rapture was in Hawaii playing Pokemon?
Yes.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Why would they go to Hawaii? So they can put them all in the volcano?
Pokemon.
Let's talk about the Gamers Garage because we still have the iTunes contest going on. Also, the Gamers Garage will be giving out a copy of Guitar Hero Metallica and a copy of Guitar Hero Aerosmith next week. Join our Facebook page, which you'll find located on the right side of the Gamers Garage site. Post what game has been your favorite so far this year, or what you're looking most forward to this year, because we're going to pick winners for that. And we want to thank again the Gamers Garage for helping us put on this show. I want to thank our VVV sponsors, SteelSeries, Control Freak, and Custom Ink. I also want to thank the World Cyber Games for being what they are.
Hell yeah.
Me too.
I want to remind them to stop. No Halo 3 ODST, no Modern Warfare 2.
Hell yeah.
And as always, I want to thank the VV community, but I got one warning to you guys. Clean your shit up in the shop
Go
box.
fuck yourself.
Hell yeah.
Right now.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
You guys get your nerd rage on in the shop box, we ban you. Stop it. Also, be sure to stop over at thegamersgarage.com where you can find out all the ways to follow us, including, like I said before, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter. And you leave us feedback by calling our voicemail at 206-350-7352 or via email at mailbag, mailbag, at thegamersgarage.com.
That's all, folks.